Hi everyone, it's Amy with Dragon's Bit Apothecary. I am pre-recording our full moon oil oracle card reading because I will actually be traveling next Friday for work, my day job. And I did not want to miss the first chance to do the full moon reading with you, so I'm pre-recording it. And I will post the notes on social media so you know the cards and you can watch the video at your convenience. So each month on the full moon, I'll be doing an oil oracle card reading for the full moon. January 10th is the wolf moon. So I've included in social media, as you'll see in the post, there's a little affirmation that I've written up for just for this full moon. And I have a feeling, just the way it works out, that the oil cards are going to align with those words. So if you're really looking for a ritual to go through with the full moon this month, check out the post on social media with that affirmation on there. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle our cards, and I'm actually going to pull 5 cards, and we'll talk about each one. The first is what we need to focus on. So this will be our focus card for the full moon. And of course, you know, some of them will be about release and things like that, but this will be our first one will be about focus. And we'll just shuffle them up here. Really looking forward to doing this with you guys all year. Okay, our first card for focus is lemongrass. And lemongrass is the oil of purification and rejuvenation. So let's talk a little bit about lemongrass and why we should focus on what it's telling us. So the wise words are, don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head. Oh, that's good. Raise the rent and kick them out. So lemongrass is purifying and uplifting. It has been used to keep insects away, but it's also great for keeping our immune system boosted, digestive support operating well. So, and it's also great for pain relief. So when lemongrass is overactive, it brings clarity of thought and concentration. So we're highly focused, we're able to concentrate, get what we need to get done, and move on to the next thing. It's amazing to disperse negative energy from the body so we can accomplish those things. And it cleanses the atmosphere, and it's kind of like a sage. It just removes all that negative, bad stuff and vibes that we just don't need to deal with. So when we're out of balance, it can kind of seem like there's a gray cloud over our head. We can't quite get out of our misery and out of our own way. We feel a little bit sluggish and tired. We can be obstructing, creating walls, preventing opportunities and flow from coming to us. But whereas we use lemongrass positively, we can streamline those energies and get them flowing correctly. We can be contagious in sharing happiness and gushing to everyone about what good things are going on in our life. It is encouraging us to have the courage to let things go that are not serving us. And you can use it really well with basil, ginger, peppermint, which are also very purifying and renewing type oils. So lemongrass is normally happy and relaxed. The smoke on the top of this card is representative of negativity that is going away with ease and flow. We're not letting it slow us down. So this card tells us that we need to detox, cleanse, and we got some negative lingering going on in our lives and around us. We need to be clearing that stuff out and making room for the good stuff that we need. We can bring clarity to the situation by focusing on the happiness and contentment in our lives. Okay, so lemongrass, love this oil. The affirmation for lemongrass is that my positive energy repels negative attitudes around me, and I am able to rise my vibration. Okay, so that's your affirmation. My positive energy repels negative attitudes around me, and I am able to raise my vibration. So that is our focus for the full moon. Now the next card I'm going to pull is about our release. So this is things, and lemongrass kind of hinted at that, right? To release that negative stuff. Maybe it's our own thoughts, maybe it's people around us. But this next card will be all about helping us further release and maybe some areas that we need to do that in. So as we think about full moon release, this is often where we write the letter and we burn it the next day. You can use what we get out of this message to do that. And that card is going to be Ginger. So Ginger is about clearing tensions and courageousness. So especially if you're talking about releasing things, sometimes we gotta have a little courage to get that done. So when we think about Ginger, his wise words are, those who have true power share it, while those who hunger power abuse it. Okay? So Ginger is very responsible. He takes ownership of his actions, is not scared to move forward. You'll find a map in the picture of the card. He's looking at a map, and it's connected to our third chakra, or our solar plexus, and it's in charge of our digestive system and our self-esteem. So it inspires motivation and action, which if you get those gut instincts, this is with the Ginger support that we need for those, so that we can make sure we're using and moving in clear directions and in alignment to what is right for us. So Ginger can be presented as a little bit weak, impotent, lost, but the person can be seen as indifferent in life. Maybe their immune system is low because they've got all these negative emotions around them that are just preventing the true self from coming out. We can use Ginger to help us release that and become well-grounded and let go of our stubbornness. Because of this card, it's challenging us to let go of all of that stuff. And because we have an important mission to accomplish, and we will get it done, but you can't do it if you're hanging on to all that other stuff, that garbage that we just don't need. So we have a clear view, we know the path is open, we know where we want to go. And of course there'll be challenges and bumps in the road, there always are, but make sure that we are good with our decisions, we've thought things through, and we're ready to move forward in confidence and courage for what is right for us. So Ginger, in releasing with the full moon, the affirmation for this card is that I am assertive, and at the same time I'm considerate of others. So I'm assertive, and at the same time I'm considerate of others. So I'm going to get what I need, but I'm going to let go of the negativity around me and still be considerate of others in accomplishing that. Okay, so that's our release card. That's number 2. So the third card I'm going to pull for this full moon is where we need to draw energy from. And energy is a real important thing when you're talking about full moons and transformations that we want to include in our life, especially in January when a lot of us are focusing on health and starting over in a lot of our goal work that we want to do in our life this year. So this is going to be our energy card. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious, just dropping them all. Okay, we're going to take this one right here, and it's marjoram. Oh, this is a great pretty oil. Okay, so this is about trust and benevolence. So this is our energy card. Pretty good energy card if you ask me. Okay, marjoram. Okay, so the wise words are, the best way to find out if you can trust someone is to trust them. Give it a go. It's a close relation to oregano. It does have that kind of spicy aroma to it. And it is known as the herb of joy and happiness to the ancient Greeks and Romans. So this card helps us to discharge conflict and anger, stops us from stressing out about it and not festering over things we can't control or change. She helps us feel appreciated and loved for who we are. shows compassion and forgiveness to the ones that should be really punished. And it's just like a beautiful mother raising a kind of a challenging child. So she is trusting, and her best essence is to use that as the basis of any relationship. Trust creates the foundations of comfort and nurturing. If we can't trust someone, you will never be our true self around them. How true is that? This card is very observant, and if someone can't be reliable, she will warn you of the situation, and she'll help you release that connection with that person. So on the flip side, though, this card can be emotionally isolating from social interactions because they're afraid to put that trust out there. So it's kind of a coping mechanism to withdraw. And because of our soft heart and dealing with rejection and negative relationships, sometimes we just don't have the energy to put it out there. So this card helps us work through that. In this reading of drawing energy from this card, we need to know when trust issues are a factor in the relationship. Trust your faith, trust your gut, which again, that's that Ginger card we just had. You are a pillar of the world. Stand strong and take charge of the situation. So don't take any crap. Okay, so this card, I recommend putting this on your heart and your stomach along with that ginger and working through drawing your energy on trust. The affirmation for this card is that my relationships are filled with love, respect, and trust. Okay, and build on that. That's a great card to have energy from. Okay, so that's our energy card. The fourth card I'm going to pull is what is emerging for us. So emerging for you. This is something that nature is naturally aligning to bring forth in our lives. We got a card sticking out right there. Ooh, Arbor Vitae. Nice strong card. Very woodsy. Okay, this is about completion and wholeness. Yeah, this is emerging from us if we're doing really strong work in a lot of areas of our life, right? It could be health, it could be work, it could be career goals, whatever it is, this is a nice card to have. Okay, the wise words of this card are non-resistance is the key to greatest power in the universe. So stop fighting the flow. Good message there. Okay, so this gives way to the rest of the essences. This is the card that kind of leads the pack, if you will. And the pointy tops of the arborvitae tree that you see in the picture resemble arrows pointing up towards the sky. There's only one way from there, and it is always up. This represents a person who is ready to release all of their struggles and is now willing to trust. Gee, there's that word again, right? There is no need for control any longer, and we don't need to do it alone. We here on earth are to experience community, and we all have the same struggles from time to time, and we learn from those and we grow. So it can be a little confusing when you first experience that. You might feel like you're going in circles, not really going anywhere, or you may not even know where to start your journey. This oil helps you firm up those plans, and it's related very firmly to our crown chakra and our root chakra. So the man in this card has released his chains. You see them breaking away from his arms. He is ready to move into the next step of his life and is committed and stable. There are lots of browns and greens representing grounding. There's a yin-yang symbol on his chest representing balance, and maybe an in-between consideration of being careless and letting go wisely. So, sometimes it's kind of like the whole screw it thing, and sometimes it's taking that breath and figuring out, should I really let that go? So this card means that we have been resisting in receiving divine help and feel a need to control the outcome of our choices. Can't always do that, can we? So we need to release our worries to the forces above. Nature has our back. The universe has got us. Nothing that has value has ever come easy. So the work that needs to be done and our attitude towards the work is purely our choice. So this card, and again, this is a very strong scented oil, so use it cautiously. The affirmation for this oil is, I release control to the universe and I am at peace with myself. So this is emerging from us. So we're ready to release control, let nature take the wheel, and let it manifest into its natural course of our life. We are free from the bounds of that. And trust and negativity came up in that one too. Oh my gosh. Okay, last card is the message from the universe. So the message from the moon, the wolf moon in this case, for January 10th. And this is our message that that moon wants to tell us. All right, let's see what the moon has to say. Maybe ties all these together. Okay, Peregrine. Oh my gosh, wow. I don't know how this one's going to tie together. We're going to have to talk about it, but actually I do. It's about judgment and trustworthiness, and trust has been a recurring theme through this whole reading, right? So, and we actually had this card come up in just one of our regular readings recently. So this elf who's on the card, it's got some wise words. It says, refuse to inherit dysfunction. Learn new ways of living instead of repeating what you have lived through. Yeah, I think that is kind of the message from the universe. What y'all think? Okay, so this is, of course, a citrus oil. And Peregrine comes from the rind of the oil, not the actual fruit. And it's used a lot in perfume. It's a very open personality, brings forth the best of our culture, creates a positive environment for community. And it can be a little destructive, though, because, you know, we can develop some unhealthy habits towards loyalty or traditions that don't really serve us, right? But because we're loyal to where we've come from and our roots of things, sometimes it's hard to release those things. So this oil encourages us to make our own judgment and assessment of our environment, making sure the actions we take don't affect everyone around us in a negative way. It is helping us be calm and relaxed about it by doing what's right for us. And it is, you know, again, it's an elf, so he's kind of a teenager. So there's some playfulness around him, but there's also that sense of community and structure. And, you know, you can misbehave a little bit, but you kind of know your boundaries. So this card is indicating that we have to deal with a lot of pain and let it go. Drama, you know, trauma, as I say all the time, need to let that stuff go, not let it hold us back. And we're encouraged to break those chains from the negative patterns that we have learned from our community, our tribe, our culture, and do more of what makes us happy. And, you know, take advice with a grain of salt, right? So, yeah, I think the last two cards speak very strongly to this message, right? So take this oil, breathe it in deeply, and this is the affirmation. I transmute any negative cellular memory and replace it with clear cosmic energy filled with new positive possibilities. That is the message from the full moon, that we need to transmute and get rid of negative stuff in our life, let go of that drama, and replace it with positive things that serve us, support us, uplift us, and align us more to nature. Okay, so that is our full moon, wolf moon, January 10th, 2020 card reading. And again, I am pre-recording this. I apologize. I had a work trip come up and needed to make some changes to my schedule. So I hope you've gotten a lot of this. Leave me some feedback on how you like these readings. You can always schedule a personal reading with me on my website, dragonspitapothecary.com. And happy full moon.